Hi, writers. Welcome back. Today, we're going to continue our adventure in writing fiction stories that keep our readers on the edge of our seats. So far, we've talked about the elements that all fiction stories need, and we've also learned how to plan a fiction story instead of just starting to write it. Because all authors really plan out their story and their elements before they start writing. So let's get started. Today, we're going to focus on one element and really learn how to do a good job writing about that element so that we really make our story come alive for the readers when they read it. So let's get started. So we're continuing learning about fiction stories, which are stories that have made up characters and events. You as the author gets to create all of that. You get to use your imagination and make all of that up. We know already that there are 4 story elements that all fiction stories need. First of all, they need characters, or the people or animals that the story is mainly about. Then those characters usually have a problem or something that goes wrong and needs to be fixed. Of course, if there's a problem, your story has to have a solution, right? The characters have to take steps and do things to solve their problem. And last, you need a setting that tells us where all this happens. Where does your character's problem and solution happen? Okay? Today, we're going to focus on imagining and creating the first important element, which is characters. We're going to focus totally on creating a character today. Because when you read a story and you're introduced to the characters, the author makes sure to let you know all about them. Right? When you read stories like series books where the characters are the same in every book, the author always gives you information and details about who the character is, not only on the outside and what they look like, but who they are on the inside, what their character traits are. So today we're going to explore characters and how to create the coolest, most fun and exciting, interesting character. Authors tell about who characters are on the inside, their character traits. By reading the words that the authors write on a page, you learn all about the character's life, right? You learn about their personality on the inside. You learn about what they think. You learn how they feel. You learn what they do. And when you learn about what they think, feel, do, and say, it tells you who they are. Because the character's actions and words, as we know, tell the world who they are. So the words that you choose to describe your character and describe what they say and do, they're going to show your readers who your character is. So if we look at this chart, we're focusing right now on this half of the chart. When we're looking at the character traits, we want to know what they're like on the inside. What are their thoughts? What are they thinking throughout the story? What are they saying? What are the words that they're going to say in your story? And you also need to make them do actions that show their personality traits, right? What we learn based on what the character says and does, thinks, and feels. So we know a lot of character traits. We've learned a lot of character traits, right? We've learned about being respectful, being kind, being brave, being courageous. We've learned many different words that describe who people are on the inside. This chart has a lot more character traits. It has different character traits that mean nice, like cheerful, considerate, encouraging, friendly. It also has words that mean mean, like maybe they're angry, or maybe your character is cruel, or disrespectful, or evil, or hateful, or impolite, or selfish, right? Or maybe your character is sad in the story. Maybe he's depressed and friendless or feeling gloomy. Maybe he's feeling heartbroken or lonely, right? There's lots of positive traits and negative traits, right? There's different ways to say confident, and there's different ways to say nervous, right? There's characters who do a lot and are active and adventurous and bold and energetic and busy. And then there's characters that do very little. They're bored, they're dull, they're lazy, right? They're sluggish. So there's lots of different character traits that you can choose from when you're creating a character. So this chart here will really help you create a character. Do you want someone who's funny but lonely? Do you want to create someone who's really, really kind and adventurous, right? Who is your character going to be? The place to start is with character traits. And your character can have more than one character trait. And your character can have positive and negative traits. The possibilities are endless. You get to create this character however you want. But the inside isn't the only important thing. You also need to describe what the character looks like on the outside, especially if your story has no pictures. You need to make sure you describe the physical traits that are on the outside of the character. Things like how tall they are, what kind of clothes they're wearing, what color their eyes and their hair is, right? These are all physical traits, which are on the left side of this chart here. The stuff that we see on the outside are physical traits. It's what we see with our eyes. Things like brown hair, blue eyes, tank top, blue shorts, tennis shoes, and tan skin. These are all character traits that describe what the character looks like on the outside. Those are important to include in your story too, so that we know exactly what to picture in our minds when we make a movie in our head. So, it's time to create a character profile, okay? What do they look like on the outside, and who are they on the inside, right? So I'm gonna create a character today, and that way you'll know exactly what you need to do when it's time to do your character profile today. So I'm gonna start with the character. Who is my character gonna be, and what is their name gonna be? I'm gonna use some characters that I know in my life as inspiration for my story. Now, this character is made up, and this character is gonna have adventures that are made up, but I'm getting the name and the character from someone who's in my life. Are you ready? My character is a squirrel named Kissy. Now, I bet all of you are like, oh, I know that. That's Miss Kamnar's squirrel. She lives outside. Absolutely. My squirrel that lives outside seems like a great character for a story. So I'm going to write a story where she has an adventure. So my character is a squirrel named Kissy. Now, I want to write what she's like on the outside. What are her physical traits? What does Kissy look like on the outside? Here I go. Kissy is fat. She's gray. She has a bushy tail and brown eyes. Okay? So now my readers can really imagine Kissy. They can imagine a fat squirrel, not a skinny squirrel. They can imagine a gray squirrel, not a red or brown squirrel. They can imagine a squirrel with a bushy fat tail and with brown eyes. Beautiful. Now it's time to talk about what Kissy's like on the inside. Who is she on the inside? What are the character traits that describe my squirrel, Kissy? Well, she's greedy. She wants all the peanuts to herself, so she's greedy. She's also selfish because she doesn't want to share her peanuts. She's fast because she chases the other squirrels away really, really fast so no one else gets her peanuts. And she's mean because she chases all the other squirrels away, okay? So now I've created my character. My character is a squirrel. It's named Kissy. On the outside, he's fat, gray, bushy tail, brown eyes. On the inside, he's greedy, selfish, fast, and mean. So now I'm going to start the beginning of my story, but I'm not going to talk about anything except describing my character. I'm going to write the beginning of my story just describing my character, using lots of adjectives and words and actions that a greedy, selfish, fast, and mean squirrel might do. Here we go. Kissy was a gray squirrel who lived in a tall oak tree. She loved eating peanuts, so she was really fat. Her tail was very bushy and would always twitch. Every day, she'd wait in the grass with her big brown eyes, asking for more peanuts. So nothing really happened in my story yet. It's just the beginning. In the beginning, I'm just describing the character and I'm telling you a little bit more about Kissy. I also told you that she lives in a tall oak tree. And I told you that she really likes peanuts, right? Those are two things that I added in my description to help you really understand who Kissy is, okay? So now it's your turn to create a character in your student portfolio. All right, in your student portfolio, you're gonna write down what your character looks like on the outside and who they are on the inside, okay? So you're gonna type the word character, and then you're gonna type what your character's name is and who they are. Are they an animal? Are they a boy? Are they a girl? Then you're gonna press enter and you're gonna type outside. And then you're gonna write some words and describing words that describe what your character looks like on the outside. Are they tall? Are they short? Are they fat? Are they skinny? Do they have green eyes or blue eyes? Do they have straight hair or curly hair, right? What are they wearing? Do they always wear shorts and a t-shirt? Or do they always wear a dress, right? What are they wearing? Then on the next line, you're gonna tell me about what they are like on the inside. Who is this character? What are their character traits, right? Are they brave and adventurous? Are they lonely but funny? Are they shy and lonely? Are they mean and unfriendly? Who is your character? What do you want them to be like? And then when you figure all that out, it's time to start writing your story, beginning with sentences that describe your character. So you're going to start writing a story that tell me all about who your character is, okay? Don't worry about the setting or problem or solution yet. Just focus on writing a really good character description in the beginning of your story, all right? So you would write story beginning, and then you would write your story, okay? Very nice, friends. So head on over to Class Dojo, find your student portfolio, and start your third story where you create a character and just start writing the description of your character. Don't worry about finishing the whole story. You don't have to finish the story. All you have to do is write your character description and the beginning of your story. All right? Happy writing, friends, and I'll see you soon. Bye.